All right, Pace Guitar Repair fans. What do we got here? Crafted in Japan. That looks like a jazz bass. You got it. It is the infamous Geddy Lee Signature Series jazz bass from Fender. So this thing's in here because it needs a setup or maybe a little tweaking. The output jack is a little wonky, and the owner wants to take these strap buttons off and put on the oversized strap buttons that I always recommend, and so does Ron here at Pace Guitar Repair. So we're gonna get some new strings on this bad boy, do a setup on it, and change out those strap buttons. All right, so we've got some strings here. It looks like we're doing the 45 to 105 nickel wound from Diodario, and this bass also has an aftermarket drop D tuner right here. And so we'll be making sure that that's set properly as well. There's the oversized strap button for the for that upper horn, which looks great. And like I said, these are what we recommend. It's what I put on all my guitars. I know it's what Ron puts on all his guitars, so it's the strap button of choice for Pace Guitar Repair. Ron is working back here diligently cleaning this guitar up. Needed a little polish. So that's one of the great things about Pace Guitar Repair is when you get your instrument back, it looks better than it did when you dropped it off. So upon further inspection, Ron has discovered that the ground wire was not soldered to the jack.
Never been soldered.
Never ever been soldered. Wow. Huh. Well, I guess that's a...
Well, from Fender, you have to know that these wires were added because Fender doesn't send them with ground wires like this. They expect this plate to be the ground. Is it reliable? Not really. So anytime I get one of these, I always put grounds on it, which somebody else already had to do.
Wow, okay. Well, there you go. So we're going to solder that ground wire to that jack, and that should fix the problem. Right, so Ron's got that all soldered. Now it's just time to put that control plate back on, and we'll be good to go. All right, now it's time to kind of try to remove some of that grime from the frets. Sometimes it doesn't always all come off, but you know what? It'll definitely look better than it did when it came in. The cool thing about the Geddy Lee Signature Series bass is it does come with that badass Bass 2 bridge, which is supposed to increase sustain and give you more surface connection to the body. I know that's the preferred bridge of most bass players, Geddy Lee included. Well, I stand corrected. Look at that, almost everything came off. When the owner of this bass gets it back, he's gonna be super happy. Got some new strings on this thing. Now it's time to check that action. It actually looks pretty good. All right, so one of the problems that Ron noticed, and this will happen with these basses over time, especially with pickups that are like this that have these foam pads on the bottom, is the foam will lose its elasticity over time. I don't know what year this bass is. I can only imagine.
The problem is if it's over tightened to begin with, then once
foam,
you want to bring it back up, it will never come up.
All right, so you heard that here first. So if the pickup is over tightened to begin with, in other words, it is pushed too far down, the foam doesn't have the opportunity to expand back out. So it just becomes this height forever. So we've got to remount these pickups, both of them, so we can get them at the proper height. We also noticed that the ground wire for this pickup had come loose. This bass is old. I mean, it's a Geddy Signature Series bass. It's probably one of the first incarnations of this bass. And this musician who owns this bass is a gigging musician, plays out almost every weekend. So this bass has seen a lot of wear and tear, and it's always a good idea to have your basses or your guitars looked at. Setups are not just a one and done. As you play the guitar, as things happen, things will move, period. It's always a good idea to have everything checked out as many times as you can. There you go. You can see the height of that. I guess we would call it the neck pickup or the middle pickup versus the height of the bridge pickup. That new foam is definitely helping. All right, so this bass is going to be set up in E flat because that way, if he needs to tune it standard, he can. The action will just get a little bit higher, but if you're going to be going between a half step down and standard tuning, it's always best to set the bass up at a half step down, because if you set it up for standard and then go a half step down, the action may be too low. Awesome Geddy Lee signature on the back of the headstock. All right, so Ron's made a few adjustments. Now we're just kind of making sure that everything is set up the right way with the right action height.
Is this supposed to work? Because it's not working.
The drop D tune appears to not be working, but yes, it is supposed to work. Just this screw right here, so that would work in a drop C sharp or a dot, D flat, whatever you want to call it. So looks like we got this thing rocking and rolling.